Felina Kako. Welcome to episode 7 of Hanohano Lānaʻi, a series brought to you by Love Lānaʻi. Through this series, we delve into the unique history and culture of our beloved home. Every place in the world is unlike any other, and Lānaʻi is definitely not an exception. Join me as I feature the distinct aspects of Lānaʻi that make our home so special. On this episode, we continue to learn about Lānaʻi's diverse history into the early 20th century. In the last episode, we discussed the major events that occurred on Lānaʻi beginning in 1910 with the acquisition of the island by W.G. Irwin and Company from Charles and Louisa Gay. Irwin and his associates formed the Lānaʻi Ranch Company, which later became the Lānaʻi Company. In 1911, George C. Monroe came to Lānaʻi to manage the ranch. He conceived the idea of planting pine trees on the island to attract the clouds and gather the fog drip. In 1917, the Lānaʻi Company conveyed its holdings to Frank and Harry Baldwin of Maui. The Baldwins continued cattle ranching on the island. In 1920, axis deer were introduced to Lānaʻi. Finally, we learned that in 1921, the population of Lānaʻi was documented at only 150 residents. In the same year, Kenneth Emery from the Bishop Museum visited Lānaʻi to conduct an archaeological and ethnographic study of the island. In this episode, we'll learn about the island's transition to a premier pineapple plantation, Ea o Mai Kako. In 1922, James Dole bought out the Baldwins' interest on Lānaʻi for $1.1 million. Dole set in motion plans that ultimately made Lānaʻi the world's largest pineapple plantation. In 1923, Dole and Associates planned the construction of Lānaʻi City, Kaumalapa'u Harbor, the plantation fields, and the infrastructure needed to develop the plantation. Construction began on Lānaʻi City. By September of 1923, the heart of Lānaʻi City emerged on the landscape, with several stores, a church, bank, hospital, theater, and business headquarters surrounding the open park space, which was named Dole Park. The park and surrounding buildings formed the heart of the town. Dole also built a labor yard, machine shop, and electric plant. By 1923, 300 acres of pineapple were planted on Lānaʻi. Water from Maunalei Valley was pumped to the city. In 1925, there were 900 acres of pineapple that were planted on the island. By 1926, there were approximately 1,000 people living on the island, mostly of whom were immigrants from Japan, China, and the Philippine Islands. 1,200 acres of pineapple were planted, and another 3,000 acres of land were plowed and prepared for planting. The ranching operation maintained about 4,000 head of cattle. In 1927, 2,300 acres of pineapple were planted on Lānaʻi, and about 25,000 tons of pineapple were shipped to the cannery on Oahu. In 1929, 7,000 acres of pineapple were planted. Lānaʻi City expanded to 500 homes, and the Lānaʻi Ranch decreased its herd of cattle to 3,000 head. Filipino laborers arrived on Lānaʻi in large numbers beginning in 1932. Over the following years, the number of Philippine immigrants that came to Lānaʻi grew to the majority of the primary workforce of the plantation. In 1937, a Catholic church opened on Church Street, the original name of Fraser Avenue. Also in 1937, the school on Lānaʻi moved from the Ko'ele Ranch vicinity to its current location. The following year, in 1938, the population on Lānaʻi neared 3,500. Approximately 20,000 acres were cultivated in pineapple. Following the bombing of Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, several Japanese families on Lānaʻi were sent to the Japanese internment camps on the continental United States. Following the end of World War II, plantation engineers began to mechanize all aspects of agriculture, including plowing, spraying, and harvesting. In 1947, pineapple workers on Lānaʻi went on strike in an effort to secure better pay. In 1951, plantation workers walked off the job again. This time, they carried out a 201-day strike that essentially immobilized the Hawaiian Pineapple Company. When the strike ended, employees secured higher pay, better benefits, and improved working conditions. They also were granted the opportunity for the first time to purchase homes on Lānaʻi. However, with increased labor costs, Dole and the Hawaiian Pineapple Company began to look abroad for new planting areas. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to complete the quiz by clicking on the link in the description box below for your chance to win a $25 food credit. Until then, aloha, ahui ho.